Prime Minister Lawrence Wong is thinking further about what more can be done in the coming years to strengthen Singapore's support system. The country is exploring more ways to boost help for households, families and workers as it navigates a more uncertain global environment. PM Wong outlined the government's thinking during a wide-ranging dialogue with journalists and media professionals at the Singapore Press Club event. Discussions ranged from artificial intelligence, population trends to geopolitics and trust in the media. Sherlyn Seah reports.
The best form of social protection for Singaporeans, Prime Minister Lawrence Wong says, is staying adaptable, capable and employable throughout life. All this comes as Singapore prepares for a future where change is expected to be faster and more frequent.
And so we are thinking further in this term of government in the coming years of additional moves we can make to strengthen our support system for households, for families, for workers.
One key challenge PM Wong noted is artificial intelligence. While AI will inevitably disrupt jobs and automate some tasks, Mr. Wong says nobody can say for certain what its long-term impact on jobs will be.
We are focusing on that aspect of AI, helping companies to use AI well to improve their productivity and operations, and then in turn helping workers to adapt, reskill, upskill, to be able to take on better jobs, even as the company transforms. And I think in Singapore we can do that.
Mr. Wong also suggested technology will become increasingly important as Singapore grapples with slower population growth and labour constraints. When asked about suggestions of a new population target, he pushed back against it, noting that Singapore remains far from the previously discussed 6.9 million figure. He added that there are no plans to set a new one. At the same time, the government is reviewing how to make Singapore more family-friendly, rather than simply providing more incentives for having babies.
For young parents, what are their concerns around costs, around infant care, child care, around education, around housing? Then we think about how we can improve these different aspects that matter to them.
These efforts come as Singapore prepares for a more challenging external environment. PM Wong said the global economic outlook remains uncertain amid ongoing tensions in the Middle East. While economies have so far adapted better than expected, he warned that prolonged disruptions could eventually weigh on growth and fuel inflationary pressures. PM Wong also described a world marked by geopolitical competition, increasing uncertainty and tensions between major powers. On US-China relations, he said that both sides increasingly have to coexist, warning that actions by one side now often trigger costly responses from the other, a dynamic he described as mutually assured disruption. The phrase is a nod to the Cold War doctrine of mutually assured destruction, where either side is discouraged from escalating into direct conflict. Looking ahead to Singapore's ASEAN chairmanship next year, Mr. Wong said that there are several issues on the table.
There are still non-tariff barriers, there are regulatory restrictions, there are ways in which we can make things more seamless. And then we can also look at connectivity in other areas, not just in trade and investments or air connectivity, but people-to-people connectivity, digital connectivity, payments connectivity, transport connectivity, our power grid connectivity. So these are all areas that we are continuing to pursue and certainly will be one of the key focus for our agenda.
Mr. Wong said Singapore will push for deeper regional integration and stronger partnerships.
PM Wong also addressed the growing threat of misinformation and disinformation online and called on the media to continue upholding trust. Responding to a question on a recent racist incident involving content targeted at the Indian community, he stressed the importance of maintaining social cohesion and a trusted information environment.
We see in so many places where when it's harder and harder to differentiate between fact and fiction, or even to agree on a basic set of facts, then it's impossible to hold a society together. We don't want that to happen in Singapore, and that's why we will continue to step up our defenses and safeguards, but at the same time, it also depends on all of you coming together to build a trusted media ecosystem. We want media outlets to operate here in Singapore in a way that's trusted and responsible, where you inform citizens, you build trust, you create space for serious conversations and discourse on issues that matter to Singapore, and you ultimately help us contribute to Singapore's long-term success.